Okay, this is the pasting department, the second of all the ways that we'll look at for drying leather. This is actually past the end of the process, but you can see the remnant of what happened here. This is a big glass frame where the leather is literally pasted to that frame and it's stretched out and it runs through a dryer. So let me show you how that works. Hello. Hey, Santiago.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Nice to see you, man. A long time to see you.
Yeah, I know. I don't work here anymore.
Okay.
I'm just giving a tour of your department.
Yes, okay.
All right, so on, this is a big, I think of like a big train track. So this is a big system with a rail, and these frames slide down the rail, and they'll take the leather, slap it up against this glass with paste on it, it's glue, and you slick it out onto the frames. And it's automatically applying the paste to the frame and stays on the rail here, getting pushed by these little levers. Hey, I don't know how old this is. It's at least since the 50s maybe? I'm not sure. I don't want to lie to you. All right, so this is how the leather looks when it enters the pasting unit. There's 5 different stages of ovens that the leather will go through. And each leather gets dried a little bit differently, but I believe this is football leather right now, pasted up onto the glass. So you can see some of the excess paste that's stripped down. This is how it's sticking there. You get a different, I think it's a really pleasant effect by pressing the grain against the glass. It really compacts the grain and gives it a really flat character. So like I said, there's 5 different ovens here. A lot of them are steam heated, and you have this whole array going down with leather on both sides. I think the very last dryer is a gas dryer, but everything else is steam. And today it's 60 degrees here in Chicago. But when it gets hot, this is a tough ass job. Because the ovens are hot, it's hot outside, there's no AC. We got powerful fans helping the guys out, but this is a tough job. So as it exits the pasting unit, they'll pull it off there and lay it on the table like this. Here's what a pasted grain looks like. You can see a little bit of that paste still left. So they will need to wash that paste off next. I can show you how that's done. Let me show you another way that we dry. There's a bunch of drying rooms, but you can see these, we'll come back down the stairs in a sec, but if you look down there, you can see some, I believe that's Chrome Excel leather, hang drying on these hooks. And then behind that wall is like a whole nother drying room that's heated. Let's go downstairs. I want to show you 2 other places that they dry, but this is the 3rd of 5 ways that we can dry. So we got vacuum dryer, we got the pasting. You can let it air dry on the hooks that we just saw there, that we'll also look at further. Then I wanted to show you toggling and tacking, which they don't do a lot of tacking anymore. And then we'll come back up to Cordovan too. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Tannery Row in the house.
What's going on?
Of course. We're just doing a little tour.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. A lot of people know a famous leather from Horween, Chrome Excel leather. This is a department called hot stuffing. We were talking about replacing nourishing fats, oils, waxes, greases into the skin. This is where it's done. These are all steam heated drums. to allow these blends to go into the leather. Most tanneries will not do this step because it's difficult. These are raw materials, so imagine something like paraffin wax. You have to really melt that and pound it into the skin to be able to tan it with that type of material. Something like a beeswax, something that's not water soluble, you have to do it with heat and steam and a pounding action in these drums. This is how all the Chrome Excel shell cordoban's made. You can see we've got a blend here for a new leather that I've been using for belts called the Line Latigo. You got the cordovan, chrome pack, people are familiar with, and a couple different Chrome Excels. This is what's going into your Chrome Excel. I think there's an interesting story too that I believe it was a woman that invented this process called hot stuffing, used to work at a cosmetics company. These are all cosmetic grade materials that they use to hot stuff the leather. So I wanted to show you how they're dried. Of course, I picked a time where there's nothing hanging. Here's some people are really curious about Chrome Excel leather. This room is often heated. It looks like they're taking down the leather from the hooks right now. Watch your head too. Each of these hooks are where they hang the Chrome Excel leather. It takes about a week to dry in this room, and this all gets steam heated. So if you look at all the different, there's radiators with steam. Hello. Actually, maybe they're hanging right now. Yeah. So this is Chrome Excel leather before it has dried, and you can't feel it, but I can tell you it feels super, super greasy, almost wet, like very, very tacky. As it hangs on these hooks, again for about a week, it could take 7 to 10 days depending on the ambient temperature outside. This leather will dry up and become a little bit less greasy. I really wanted to emphasize all this steam. All these are different steam coils everywhere. Steam coils, we got a lot of fans for airflow on the side, and then it gets really hot in here. So that...
Is there a reason they separate the Chrome Excel versus like the cordovan in this process?
There is a reason that they separate Chrome Excel from cordovan in this process, because they dry at different rates. But also, they're tanned in different ways. The cordovan cannot accept as much heat as the Chrome Excel because the cordovan is veg tan that we talked about earlier. So you have to be a little bit more careful with temperature. That room gets beyond 120 degrees, which a chrome tan leather can handle. Even though that Chrome Excel has a vegetable retanning component to it, because it has a chrome, whoa. It's lunchtime. Because the Chrome Excel has a chrome base tannage, it gives it the resilience that we require to be able to dry in that room. So we're gonna skip back through this. I wanna show you the last two drying methods. What's up, Don? Don! How you doing? Good to see you.
You good?
I'm good. How are you? Awesome. Oh, excuse me. We're going upstairs. Let's go through.
Thank you.
You got it. Hey. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. All right. We'll come back to this as well. This is a really fun room that has to do with cordovan. So we'll show you the last drying methods and then skip over to the other branch of the tree for the cordovan. My business partner Dan works here. I think he gets like 20,000 steps a day. Okay, I love this room. It's just a beautiful room. So beautiful. But something about the light and the wood in here, it's It's a really pleasant room for me. But this is the fourth drying method that we're going to look at. This is a process called toggling, where they take these little clips that sort of spring out and grab onto the leather. There's like a grippy side. And you hook it to the leather and pull it across the frame. This is air drying, although this room can be heated up as well. But what you get here that's distinct from the pasted leather is more of a pronounced and raised grain because it's not pressed up against anything as it dries, contrasting the pasting unit or the vacuum drying stuff where that's pressed against the glass as it dries. This allows that grain to sort of pucker up. So most pebbled leathers are toggle dried. In fact, toggling is a really common drying method around the world. There's big mechanical units. This is all very manually done here, but there's mechanical units that will do this automatically for you. And that's how a lot of other tanneries dry as well. And then the other way that you can dry, which we're not doing right now, is on these boards. Let me just give you a little close up here. So leather that is too thick or too greasy, you're unable to use the toggle clips on. So what they used to do when they ran more of that leather was more for mechanical purposes. They would do something called tacking, where you hang up the leather on these wooden slats and literally tack it in with nails into there. I don't know if there's any tacks right now, but you can kind of see where the holes were as they did all these. Cool. So those are your drying methods. You also see, I mean, we'll come back to this this way of thinking, but as that leather dries out, it gets a little bit firm again. Not overly so, but in the finishing department is where we'll soften the leather to like an even temperament. Again, as it dries, it can harden up or become a little wavy and reefed, they call it. Like this probably could have been toggled a little bit better, but that's going to dry with that shape to it. So we need to even that waviness out. We want everything to be flat.